Yo,
Yes, sir. What's good, everybody? Welcome to episode number 31 of the Sports Use Podcast.
31.
31.
Oh my goodness, Robbie. We have made very far steps, brother.
Man,
we made a lot.
I don't know how many times I have to say it. A lot of people quit at number 7. We're at 31. Almost
31.
4 episodes away to multiplying that shit by 5, man.
Yeah,
So let's keep it going. We're going to keep it
getting
going. Being consistent, hopefully just getting better one day at a time.
Yes, sir.
Episode 31, Gifting. So that means that we actually skipped this one in the last episode. So for this episode, we're going to definitely do it. So our numbers for today, was it like number 31? So for episode 31,
yes,
who's
sir.
your player, my friend?
My player that I picked for episode 31 is the man of all trades. The first Steph Curry, the first Klay Thompson,
And
Reggie
he's bald.
Miller. And he's, bitch.
Not
Whatever.
like that, bro. Nah. But he is bald, bro.
Okay, cool, man. Damn, no, I'm just kidding.
He was bald before Jordan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Miller of the Indiana Pacers, the one and only, he's actually second right now behind Ray Allen for all-time three-pointers made, which, it's Ray Allen. He was never going to catch Ray Allen in the first place. Ray Allen was just a way better shooter than him, in my opinion.
Sir.
But, yeah, that's who I picked. Robbie, who you got?
So, for me, I got Mike Piazza. As you can see, I'm a Dodgers fan.
Piazza!
Right here. Yes, sir. He was a catcher for the Dodgers. He also played for the Mets as well. He played for the Athletics in 2007, but I'm going to just not really mention that part. He's a Hall of Famer, though. Rookie of the Year, 12-time All-Star, 10-time Silver Slugger, and had a great moment. It was like 10 days before or after 9/11 happened, and he hit the 2-run home run. It was a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning there, and it just rounded the bases, doing the Kirk Gibson little thing with the little hand thing, and he's just going, USA, USA, with the crowd chants. So it's fucking badass. But, yeah, Mike Piazza, a great Dodger. He went on to the Mets. Had a better Mets career, more memorable.
Really?
And
that
yeah,
sucks.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Definitely had a good start with the Dodgers, but
It just like
and the Mets, he was a stud.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's get into it. So the first thing that we got on here, you actually had I think it's an article from The Athletic, if I'm not mistaken, about a Deshaun Watson trade from the Houston Texans. Talk to me.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. So you want to get into the Deshaun Watson
I
one
do,
first?
bro. Let's jump into it.
All right,
this is interesting because it's hot and it's fresh.
Well, we talked about it beforehand where Deshaun Watson was actually asking the ownership to, give Will Fuller a contract after he got that PED suspension. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah. So, we already had that conversation where it was basically if you have a guy who's already asking for this type of, control over the team, having that type of, just influence where you're trying to get what you want and, they already paid you, so you have that much fucking power. So, let's get into it. Just a little bit of history on Deshaun Watson and what this Texans team has done.
Break it down for me.
So, since their 24-0 lead against the Chiefs in the playoffs, they have been outscored by a total of 124 points. I think that's, the fourth lowest point differential, or highest, excuse me.
Right.
Fourth, on the lowest bracket there. So, basically, they just haven't been doing well with scoring the ball as well as defending the ball. And if they're scoring the ball, they're definitely not defending the ball right there.
Right.
That is allowing the Texans to post a 4-13 record. He also earned about $40 million for his career so far. And the reason why I wanted to mention that is because he has some money to fall back on. He actually has some money in the bank. So, him asking for a trade, the only way it can possibly happen, according to this report, as well as, my own opinion on what I would like to see, is if he keeps his money in the bank, of course, uses that money how he wants to, but he has $40 million in the bank, man. You definitely have some money to back off on. He basically says, hey, you better trade me or I'm just not going to play. It happened before with
that fuck you money, folks. That's the best kind of money to have in the world, man.
40 mil. He's really telling them the middle finger right there.
Ooh.
But Carson Palmer did this with the Cincinnati Bengals. They weren't producing for him. He was a number 1 overall pick as well.
Did he?
Or first rounder. So he stood out and he was just not doing anything, being very stubborn. And they tried to keep him, but eventually just traded him from the beginning of the season in October. Until October.
Right.
So basically, that's a month or two into the season.
Damn.
So they traded him pretty quick. So if he kind of just stands still, takes one for himself, you know what I mean, not for the team, like really does his own like selfishness type of stuff, because it seems like the organization has been doing that as well.
So you're asking him pretty much to suppress his ego.
No. I'm not saying to suppress his ego. It's like you have a certain type of amount of power, and the NFL doesn't allow players to have any type of power. You know what I'm saying? So like,
boy, don't they?
If you already have the money to like back you up,
Mm-hmm.
and you can support yourself, why not sit out the games? And then they're literally getting no value out of you.
Right.
So why not get something in return? Because it seems like they're already going to be rebuilding anyway,
Right.
new coach and everything. So I was actually proud of the Texans for not giving him that much power and like giving him that much like say in like the GM choice and stuff like that, because I feel like they're two different jobs. Like, why would I give you front office responsibility? Like,
Right.
I understand like the cohesion in it, but it's like a GM. It's not your coach. I feel like that's two totally different things. But I say if somebody's offering you like a high first round pick, future picks, and a young player, you could probably do something with that. Man, like, I don't know, like, you've seen what you have already with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to get any better from a 4-12 record.
Now, if you were a GM, if you were the Houston Texans GM, what in return would you want for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, that's what I said. So
sorry.
first round pick
Okay.
for this year, like a high first round pick,
Mm-hmm.
future high picks, and a young player.
Okay.
Because what else is he going to be like? Like, literally, he's a franchise quarterback. Now, for
Right.
me, if I'm the GM and what I need to do, it's like tough for me to let go of a franchise quarterback, but it feels like there's a new quarterback every other year
yeah.
who's a dual
Threat.
dual threat type of dude. He's
Yeah.
able to do both. Like, yeah, you already have one that can kind of do that, and he does like insane plays, and he's an X Factor type of dude. But come on, man, like, he's already having this type of relationship. I feel like lines have been like severed already with like communication between the two. It's maybe just time to move on.
Yeah, and then especially like I know we said it back like months ago, but after that D-Hop trade, that was the last straw, man.
And then like just giving all the control to Bill O'Brien, and then it's just a lot when it comes to that roster, that organization as a whole. Why not just restart everything and I don't know, just get a lot in return from this guy. Try to do as much as you can, but 3 like high round picks in the NFL are gold.
Right.
You could turn Deshaun Watson into 5 like caliber,
If
like
you could,
MVP caliber
if
players,
you could
or
pick
good caliber players.
If you could pick one team that you'd want to see Deshaun Watson on, because I've been wanting to say this. If you could pick one team, where would you want Deshaun Watson to go?
So for me, I don't really know where I would love for him to go. I like your choice because you've actually told me this off of air. But he mentioned the Dolphins, and that's another reason why he feels like a little disconnected with the front office of the Texans is because like they're not taking the social issues as serious. The Texans have a history of
Because
saying
he's
like,
in Texas,
Houston, and so it's just a lot there. So apparently he wants to go to the Dolphins. The reason why is because they have a black head coach, a black front office, and most likely would take it a lot more serious than what he's already experienced. So I guess you could say the Dolphins if I had to say one, but I like yours a lot better.
Y'all ready for this, America?
Yes, sir.
If it's possible, I don't know if it is or not. Maybe, hopefully it is. But if it's possible, I want Deshaun Watson to go to the Saints.
The Saints.
They would just be running. Like, you might have to give up, like, Drew Brees and, like, Michael Thomas or something like that. But, I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay,
like,
well, so Drew Brees isn't a tradable piece.
No,
Michael Thomas definitely is, even with this contract. But I wouldn't want to trade anything other than, like, picks.
Well, I mean, in my mind,
maybe a good defensive player because their defense is loaded.
It's like, I'm trying to bleed you for, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
if I gotta take a burden, I'm gonna make a burden for you. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm the Texans, I would want Drew Brees though. Like I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if the Saints can make it happen, they have a loaded roster. They could definitely put a pile of like
maybe like
things
Taysom
together.
Hill or somebody like that. Who knows? But
Maybe
I would love for Deshaun Watson to go to Houston.
You already know how I feel about Taysom.
New Orleans. I think it'd honestly be Super Bowl or bust if he went to New Orleans. Dead ass.
Super Bowl bust. Let's get into the other one here though, Gittin. I actually read something on The Athletic as well. This is about the Seahawks, man.
I seen that. What was you getting into about that?
So, well, the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because of of course, my Rams played them, and we kind of talked about it. I was more talking about the Rams side,
Yeah.
but I actually do want to talk about the Seahawks side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I read this article, and basically what it was kind of mentioning was this is like the best team so far that the Seahawks had put together for Russell Wilson.
Even better than the Legion of Boom?
Well, since that time, since this is his Super Bowl year,
okay.
this is the best team that they put together.
Okay.
And so in this league, it's like you have to focus in a lot more about offense than it is defense nowadays. But let's just like kind of go through about what Russell Wilson has already like, what his season has gone through so far.
Break it down for me.
And what he has had to use to his like, exposure here.
Okay.
So the expectations of Seattle so far was that they have Russell Wilson, who just got a big old contract. Star-studded defense, especially with the acclamation of not Earl Thomas, Jamal Adams.
That shit would have been insane.
I've been thinking about Seahawks all day. So it's trying to get back to their Super Bowl, expectations in the first place, right? So in the beginning of the season, they started off with let Russ cook, had him throwing all the time, even on first downs. They had an early down pass rate of 61.5%. So basically 2/3. So 2 out of 3 times these guys are going to be passing in the early downs right there.
Right.
And they were blowing people out. And of course, Russell Wilson had the MVP thing. But remember, I even called that.
The first 3 weeks were fucking phenomenal.
It's always like that with the Seahawks. Hey, we changed. Nope, we're going to go back to the run. And the thing is I feel like it's like people catch on. Oh, they're going to pass a lot. Let's really rush them and get a blitz going.
Right.
That line can't really take it too much.
Right.
But apparently, this line is in ESPN's pass block win rate model. It's top 10. So it's like you have a good line.
Mm-hmm.
You have a pass-heavy offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have basically the highest scoring offense in franchise history. You're playing at home, and everybody was pretty much healthy. You had your entire offensive line. You had your top 2 running backs, where Chris Carson always made a bigger difference. Didn't do anything against the Rams,
and they still lost.
Yep, it was like that. They got dominated basically. Wilson, of course, with his franchise leading or franchise best offense, had 5 sacks and 2 interceptions.
Ooh.
So, one of them is pick 6. So, like, they had one of the best run defenses in the league. They couldn't stop Cam Akers.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thing is that they have a shitty cap.
Right.
Because they have no room for anybody right now,
especially
with Russ's contract kicking in even more.
Ooh.
They just lost to a Jared Goff who had a really bad thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And, when your whole season you're good at the run, you can't stop the run against Cam Akers when it really matters.
Right.
And they're getting to the quarterback pretty easily, even though you have a top-rated offensive line. What is the excuse? Is it coaching? And then you have DK Metcalf throwing fits. So, this team actually is, for what the expectations are, and everybody gives so much praise to Russell Wilson, this team is actually in a bit of turmoil, and it's interesting to see what Pete Carroll's going to be able to do.
Turmoil, really?
I think so.
Damn.
Because think about it this way. Aren't the Cardinals going to get better?
True.
If the Rams have a healthy Jared Goff, I think they're definitely Super Bowl contenders. Right now, they're going to get kicked out next round. I can kind of just feel it. I thought they were going to get kicked out last round, but this one's terrible. We're going to be playing the Packers, but...
Oh, yeah, pack it up. That's it.
We're doing...
Over. GG's.
We'll see what happens, man.
GG's.
Hey, bro, I'm going to be watching that game. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
GG's.
But how you feeling, bro? Like that team was so good. It had Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
it had Greg Olsen. It had a lot of leadership.
It did.
And it had, they had a little bit of injuries on the defensive side, especially with Jamal Adams playing with a messed up collarbone.
That was the thing that I wanted to make, because you just touched on it right now. Jamal Adams was it kind of seemed like it was a waste to go and get Jamal Adams now at this point, because it's like you said, you have one of the best defenses, good offensive weapons, but you still can't get out of the first round.
How about this? So remember, Jamal Adams made that big stop on I think it was Malcolm Brown no, it was Henderson, because he got injured on that play.
Yeah.
But anyway, he won that. When they won that game, they won the division. But when it really counted in the playoffs, we beat them. So what do you really care about?
Exactly.
I guess you have a division title, though. So
yeah.
helps.
A division title is cool, but it's not a Super Bowl. But Anyways, oh well. So the next thing that I wanted to talk excuse me.
No worries.
Next thing I wanted to talk about, you had mentioned that Doug Pederson has recently been fired as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach.
Well, everybody definitely knows about that, but the way that it happened is definitely crazy.
Now, I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you off. But what blew my mind when I was reading the article,
Tell me, man.
when they had a chance to get DK Metcalf, and they didn't draft him. I had no idea.
A lot of people
that
didn't
Philly,
feel like that.
I had
about him,
no
bro.
idea that Philly was
crazy.
right there to getting DK Metcalf. That was insane.
Yeah, and then they had a choice of getting Justin Jefferson this year, and then they chose Jalen Reagor instead. And I had high hopes for him. I thought it was going to be a really good matchmake because all last year they were like, "Oh, we don't have wide receivers. We don't have any skilled people."
Right.
Well, Miles Sanders was doing really well, and then he, of course, he didn't really have any wide receiver options. But Greg Ward was actually posting up some pretty cool numbers when he got the opportunity.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, they could have done pretty well with Jalen Reagor, added into that, and everybody else has a little bit less of attention, and it didn't work out well.
Mainly what I wanted to ask you is, what do you think's happening to Philadelphia from the inside out?
All right. So reading the report, again, it's from The Athletic here because they just have some good shit, good content.
Definitely.
But anyway, so this is let me just give you just an example here. So they won a Super Bowl, right? Pederson was the head coach, and he won it with a backup quarterback. So that had to be a combination, a huge representation of his coaching, leading a team like that, going into the Super Bowl with the backup quarterback and beating the greatest fucking quarterback of all time.
Right.
So that should get him some respect, right?
Right.
Well, I guess wrong. Because last year when he was trying to hire an offensive coordinator named Mike Groh, don't know him, but I guess he's his friend, trying to bring him back, he was actually released by the Eagles. So that means that they didn't trust him. They didn't trust his judgment. And also, maybe they were trying to cut ties and start the season this isn't really in my control, even though I've just won something, right?
Right.
3 out of the last 4 seasons, they went to the playoffs as well. So it started creating some turmoil again. Snowballed a little bit more, and now the Eagles have just more than one problem here. So they got rid of Doug Pederson, right? Because throughout the whole entire season, they showed a lack of leadership inside the locker room. They had so many different conversations, and they couldn't get control of the locker room with all the leaks and the quarterback change as well. It was just an awful season for Doug Pederson as a whole. Just a representation of him and his team and how they're being managed, right? That's what a coach is. You have to manage a team. Everybody else kind of makes the decisions, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. He's more of an offensive guy, quarterback guru, apparently.
See, they say that about a lot of these coaches, and then a lot of these coaches is like you said, they're just buddy trying to get a job. Because
some of them are just one-tooled, and then they just use a lot of different things a big reason why we have a good defense on the Rams is because Sean McVay is such a good coach, when it comes to not only picking his personnel, but also just keeping the guys motivated and being that coach. I want to play for this guy.
Right.
But anyway, so they already got rid of Pederson, and that's how it started in the beginning. And then of course everybody heard the stories about the locker room. It's kind of getting out of control as well.
Yeah.
But now the Eagles, of course, they just don't have a Carson Wentz problem right now. Because Carson Wentz, of course, has that huge contract, and they're trying to get rid of him.
Oh, that damn contract.
They chose Carson Wentz, and they let go of Doug Pederson on this one. Now, they have a history of injuries all the time, especially on the defensive side and the offensive line. A bad cap space, so no cap space whatsoever, basically, especially with that contract.
I think
they're an older team, a lack of talent, remember, at the skills positions, and they're pretty bad at missing out on those scouting departments, so they're not really going to get better, like you were saying, with those wide receivers.
I think that's the worst thing about a team, because it's already bad enough when you have a quarterback that has health issues like that, but it's bad, and then it gets just worse when you don't have a cap and you can't do anything about it.
Yep, exactly. You invested all of your assets into that thing, and it's not necessarily being productive to what your expectations were.
Right.
And that's definitely disappointing. So all of these can kind of be pointed to Howie Roseman. And the reason why I say that is because, he's not necessarily given all the power to the coach. He's the one who had a big say in not bringing back Mike Groh. He also has a big say in who gets drafted as well. I'm sure that the general manager has consensus like overruling when it comes to like who's gonna pick what for the team. You know what I mean? And then also this guy was there for a championship too, so he feels good about himself as well.
Of course.
So somebody had to go, and it was Pederson. It was not Roseman. Should have possibly been Roseman in my opinion. Maybe both of them.
Why is
like
that?
Get a clean slate, because this is why. The next coach that will be under Roseman and Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, will be the third coach in Roseman's like reign.
Right.
So usually, as a general manager, you don't last more than 2 coaches. Usually, it's just one. If not, never more than 2. So now this is going to be his third coach that he's going to be like, managing over, general managing over, and it's like, well, what do you think is going to happen with this guy? If he doesn't listen to Roseman, then it's going to be like, all right, you're gone too. Again, so Roseman and Lurie are like just really buddy-buddy. Roseman was just trying to cover his tracks and blame it on something else rather than take responsibility on himself. And then scapegoated Doug Pederson.
Everybody always want to be famous, but don't nobody want to put the work in the words of Kevin Hart.
Well, there's definitely some good coaching candidates out there. Dable, who's offensive coordinator of the Bills, so developed Josh Allen.
Okay.
You also have Eric Bieniemy of the Chiefs. So
if
they hire one of those guys, I feel like
they
can do a lot. They can do a lot with it.
Do you feel like that? Well, I mean, obviously, a coach is the first step, but after the coach, what's the next thing that you would like to see?
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you got to trade him.
No, I don't think you have to trade him. I think you have to make him happy.
Oh, I wanted you to say it.
I
wanted you to say trade Carson Wentz.
I definitely want to keep him because it seems like that's who they chose right now. Like you could have picked Pederson and then have him figure it out. He is a Super Bowl winning coach. I think that he's gonna get picked up pretty easily, especially being a guy who makes it to the playoffs, unlike a lot of other teams.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and then we'll wrap on this. Is it worth it with his recent injury history and his play? Because in my mind, I'm not trying to make nobody that happy if I know you're only good for about 4 weeks.
I'm a betting man. And if I'm already like a lot of money, I'm gonna put it on that number, and I'm gonna let the dice roll.
Oh, I love when he talks like that.
Yeah, man, you already put this much investment into him. You're kind of fucked no matter way. I mean, no matter where you go.
Right.
So, a lot of coaches get fired pretty quickly here. So you have a little bit of time with Carson Wentz. If the next coach don't work out with Carson Wentz, then we could just fire both of them and start all over. But why not? You already have all this invested. Let's make it work.
Yeah, I feel you on that part.
I do want to get into this one right here. It's pretty much the end of the NFL one. We're going to get into the games on the next podcast here. That one's going to be right before the weekend. This one right here is a little bit more special to me. I want to bring it up. I was actually very upset just thinking about like all the things that fans have missed throughout like this entire COVID situation.
That's so true, man. It hit me when you first brought it up because I was just like, wow, like there was a lot of shit we didn't get to do this year.
So sad, especially with the things that have happened.
Exactly.
All right, so let's just say this much.
Talk to me.
The Dodgers, of course, World Series champions.
He got the hat on for a reason.
I gotta make sure. You know what I mean? 32 years of suffering, year in, year out, making Dodger fans look like fools for supporting a very, very highly paid team, one that has a history of that. Now it's like we got to invest right into our young core again. But again, like 32 years of suffering, and we couldn't even celebrate it. Being there, possibly if we were there, I think we won it in 5 games. We actually would have won it at Tampa Bay Rays, but we would have had World Series games at our house. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something that we missed. And so Dodger World Series, 32 years. I wish that we could have done that. Like that would have been awesome for us to be
especially that night we went into LA. Like that night probably would have been way different.
Do you have it up, Gifton? What's the next one?
Let's see. The next one.
I'll go ahead and say it so that you can have it up on the next one here. So I also have the Rays going to the World Series. It's not a lot of the time where the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be going to the World Series, and I kind of highly doubt it. But hey, like with the front office that they have, Moneyball type stuff, analytics, they could definitely always fill in their farm roster and make a run back at it. But Rays going to World Series, it sucks for Tampa Bay.
Yeah. The next one was actually that the Los Angeles Lakers finally, after, oh my God, how many years was it?
Many years of just being out of the playoffs.
It was at least like
being out of the playoffs.
Like 6 years at least. Like 6 or 7 years. Finally, unfortunately, after Kobe's tragic passing, it's still unbelievable.
So
today.
fresh. Yep.
The Lakers finally won an NBA championship.
LeBron
now,
gets
for all of you motherfuckers out there, my bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
For all of you motherfuckers out there who are talking about, it's the bubble, there was an asterisk, this doesn't count, it was destiny.
Let 'em
Hey, I don't want to hear it.
That's a championship.
I don't want to hear it. A championship is a championship is a championship. And when I seen AD and Alex Caruso finally get their championship,
First rings, baby.
mainly AD, Alex Caruso is cool.
Hey man,
Ball game.
Alex Caruso
Anyway.
is the main reason he made some plays. But AD's first championship ring, he didn't really get to. He did a lot to get to the Lakers, and he took a lot of like character.
Oh,
hits.
he took a lot.
So for
he
him,
took a lot of
for
bullets.
him to be able to be like, I'm a champion, and it was all worth it. That's awesome. And so like that was very upsetting that we couldn't see that as fans, and also like just let him like enjoy it after. The Tampa Bay Lightning, again, Tampa Bay getting screwed in the end.
Blow the boys!
First Stanley Cup in 15-plus years. Dude, 15-plus years is a long time.
It
and
is.
let's say, like, you don't pay attention until you're, like, 8 years old. So that's about, like, 23 years of, like, not really being a champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, that's something that's pretty cool that they were able to celebrate after 15-plus years. But, at least they were able to celebrate with beers and stuff, unlike the other sports, which I think the Lakers were able to, but like,
I mean,
apparently
it's just
MLB wasn't.
champagne.
Champagne.
Yes, whatever.
What's the next one, Gittin?
The next one is the Bills' first playoff win after
how much?
25 years.
25 years. Imagine.
25 years.
Let's give yourself, like, you don't start paying attention or don't remember stuff until 6 through 8 or something. Let's just say 6 even. Best case scenario, you start remembering stuff. That takes you, you got to be 31 years old to even get a playoff win, not the championship, a playoff win. So that's a tough one, and for them not to be able to be there, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was a huge one. You wanna?
I have this next one here. The
Go
Browns, the shit stains.
I'm so proud of y'all, man.
They
y'all
coming
ran
out
them boys
here.
out the building, boy. I'm so proud of y'all.
It was amazing. 25 plus years is finally happening. Everybody's. I used to be in so when I was in college, my buddy would always say, everybody's a Browns fan. Because everybody, like, just wants the Browns to win. Everybody's a Browns fan.
That's a good point.
They finally did it, and, like, those guys have definitely been through it during this time span.
Boy.
25 plus years, they're not able to celebrate with their team like they should be able to.
We never
It's
knew
pretty
if
awful.
Baker Mayfield was it or not, and so far, so good. Hopefully he can, continue to keep going with the Browns. I think he will.
What's the next one, Gittin?
The next one, Steph Curry is finally playing basketball again.
Steph Curry's new season high, baby.
Steph Curry's new
We missed
season
that.
high of 62
fans.
points.
In real life, we missed that.
I know
You know
that.
what I mean? Like,
we-
those fans, they didn't get to enjoy that shit. They've
that-
seen it many times. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but
Frisco probably would have went crazy if there was fans there.
you already know they go crazy, especially in that new arena. Oh, come on, that experience would have been crazy.
Honestly, all of just like the high tech stuff they have in there is just like we need to take a trip to San Fran one of these days.
Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell in the bubble when they were going crazy against each
Oh,
other,
my
45
God.
to like 50 plus points. Insane. I
That
can't believe like those fans were screwed out of that, because it would have been so wild one moment, and then
Yeah.
it would have been so silent the next moment because Jamal Murray continued to answer. I would have loved to just hear the crowd do that shit.
Oh yeah, that was. Do you remember when Denver played Portland, and that went to 7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that shit was insane, bro.
Because
I thought Portland was done, because if I'm not mistaken, like Denver was up 3-2, and then Dame came back and won them last 2 games.
Well, they never played a 7-game series in the bubble.
Was it a 7? No. I'm saying 2 years ago. It was like 2.
well,
You remember
I'm
that
saying-
series?
Yeah, that one was crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah, but I'm talking more of like what the fans miss, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just saying because it was both a hypey
Well,
moment.
if it had any type of feeling as that game did, then
Mhm.
of course the fans missed out on that. So
Right.
it just definitely sucks that, again, we had to miss out on.
Yeah, but hopefully, we're all going through tough times right now with this COVID. Everybody, wash your hands,
Wash your hands.
wear
Wash
a
your
mask,
fucking hands.
and wash
Wear
your ass. Wash your ass. But now it's time to get into the reason why we do the damn show in the first place.
I don't know how to do the song. What's that song go?
We had a song?
No, for the NBA, the theme song. It's like dun dun dun.
They did.
Dun,
See,
dun,
the
dun,
thing is, it's they all have different theme songs.
I don't know.
But I'm talking about basketball, goddamn it.
NBA,
That's
baby.
what I'm talking about.
Let's get into
NBA, you know why I'm here. Yeah, you know why I'm here. So the first thing, Robbie,
What's up, man?
we got a new segment.
What's good?
It's called Pick Your Poison.
Pick my poison, huh?
Yes, sir. Pick your
I want to
poison.
live, but all right, let's do it.
And this is a segment where we pick which excuse me. This is a segment where we would pick which player we want on our team that always tends to get into on-court / off-the-court altercations.
Oh,
Yeah. This
Okay.
is a good one. All right, so the first one, we have Boogie Cousins' constant ejections versus Markieff Morris ejections that sometimes can get physical. Who would you want to pick on
Okay,
your
so
team?
am I picking like basically like
You're
who do I
picking
want there?
You're
Like,
picking the headache that you're going to deal with pretty much.
so talent comes in as well then.
In
this
yes,
league-
we can throw it in there too.
In this league, man, taking a look at one of those guys. Okay, if I'm making my own team, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick Markieff, and the only reason why is because I feel like in a center, like I want them to be a little bit faster going up and down the court, especially in this league. I feel like Boogie has a little bit of, injuries that lag him.
That's fair.
But man, is he talented? So I'm gonna be dealing with Marquise, and I feel like his like antics are a little bit more like forceful and like I'm a tough guy, whereas Boogie is like, bro, give me the call, ref, give me the call. Like, what are you doing? To start like, complaining and shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Markieff on that one, baby.
Okay.
How about you?
Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know who I'm going with.
Boogie.
Of course, I've been dealing with it. Been dealing with it since he's been in Sacramento. Been dealing with it when he first got traded. Been dealing with it when he was in the Warriors and the Lakers. Been a Boogie fan my whole life, so of course I'm gonna deal with that headache proudly. Next up,
Next one, baby.
Kyrie's partying or James Harden's partying. Now,
Ooh.
recently, Kyrie Irving has missed the last 4 games due to personal issues. But recently a video surfaced when he was at a birthday party with his sister, Asia Irving. Maskless.
Maskless. Well, he's bro, I don't know. Like, it's such a big deal. Like,
Who
I
you
get
taking?
it. I feel like the only reason why is because like he's always like avoiding shit, and
And
then the media's gonna
everybody
make it a bigger deal now.
everybody be snitching out here, so
They're
they didn't have to make that maskless thing in all caps. But anyway, who you picking, Rob?
They're making a fool out of the media's making a fool out of Kyrie Irving.
Don't
after
they
all that shit.
always?
All right, so who am I picking? Dude, I'm picking James Harden's partying.
Ooh!
What the hell? Like, okay, first of all, when James Harden go out partying, I already know that he's gonna come back, big daddy gut, pull up, give me 40 off of 30 shots. You know what I'm saying? So at least he's getting me 40, and I know that he's gonna give me like probably like 10 assists just to prove everybody else wrong. I already know what he's gonna get me. So not worrying about him partying is like the least of my worries. Like when he comes back, like he's always gonna produce. So Kyrie Irving, I don't know, man. We'll see when he comes back. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit lose a step.
Again, y'all know who I'm picking because I'm a Rockets fan. But anyways, James Harden is still, like you said, you touched on it. He's still gonna come out and drop you 40 with 11 assists. So I mean, that's cool. Even eating chicken wings and drinking Hennessy all night, he can still come back and give me 40. I'll take that over Kyrie any day.
All right. Well, let me ask you this one then,
Okay.
because I want to do the last. I want to ask you the last one so you can get one to like respond first.
Okay, go ahead.
So you have Kristaps Porzingis' health, his ACL and knee because he's coming back.
Yeah.
Now I think he actually had the
allegedly.
game today. And then he also had Russell Westbrook's quad on a Wizards team that's already kind of failing.
Yeah.
Which one do you pick there?
Damn, that was a tough one. Honestly, I think I picked KP only because even if KP doesn't hold up all season, and hopefully he does, the Mavericks are still gonna be okay. They're still gonna make the playoffs. The Wizards right now, it's like I genuinely fear for the Wizards because I mean Bradley Beal is still going crazy and they just can't get it done.
I think I'm going to have to pick KP with you. And the reason why is because Russell Westbrook, I think, relies on his quad a lot more than Porzingis relies on his knee. Now, I know the knee is way more important, don't get me wrong, than your quad. You can run on a quad, but I think that Russell Westbrook's game is now, because he can't shoot, is just based off of getting to the hole, rim running. And with the injured quad, I feel like that's really bad. Whereas Porzingis, he can really shoot, take a lot of pressure off that knee by not really driving, trying to get dunks and stuff like that. So he could play off of it and take a lot of pressure off that knee. Whereas Westbrook's, I feel like his strength is in his quads. He needs them.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and pick KP for that one too, brother.
All right. Now we got a throwback to all the OG fans listening out there right
What's
now.
Good, man?
We are doing F1, M1, K1.
Fuck one, marry one, kill one.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a little classic. What's up, man? What is one good?
All right, so basically, the situation that you are marrying, that you choose to marry, is the situation that you want to fix.
All right, for sure.
All right.
Ooh, interesting.
So
Gotta fix them.
Yeah, pick one out of the 3.
They all love a fixer-upper.
We have. Sorry, y'all. We have Bradley Beal still averaging 34.9 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. They're currently 3-8, and their biggest struggles are health and chemistry. James Harden, who's averaging 26 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 11 assists, and their issues are mainly just chemistry.
Ooh.
And we also have Steph Curry, who's averaging 26 points. Oh, my bad. 28.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.7 assists. And their excuse me, their biggest struggles are bench players. So Robbie, fuck one, marry one, kill one.
Okay, so
Go.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill off Bradley Beal.
Ooh,
I'm
damn.
gonna kill off Bradley Beal because I had a lot of hope. I had a lot of hopes for this Wizards team, and it just looks like they don't defend a lick. First of all,
Yeah,
they don't know how to close games,
Mhm.
and Russell Westbrook isn't like showing any effort at the end of games too,
Right.
and making terrible decisions. And it's like, man, like you have a lot of years in this league, and you know what your weaknesses are. Like,
And you
here's
still
the thing.
haven't
He could
addressed them.
take highly clutch shots. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I've seen it happen in postseason where he's able to come back and go on some streaks. But I'm gonna go ahead again. I'm gonna kill off Beal. Let me not stray away from the topic here.
Ooh,
I'll go ahead and I will.
this is
I'm
important.
gonna marry
now.
James Harden,
We 2 for 2.
and I'm gonna marry James Harden because wherever he goes, I'm gonna go with him because I'm married to him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I fuck somebody, I can always have them like as a side. You know what I mean? So like I'm gonna just keep them like always attached to me because I know they're a winner and they got good heart and stuff. But I always like a guy who's gonna be the star. Like,
Exactly.
So for me,
because we
I'm
toxic
gonna go
over
ahead
here.
and do it. James Harden, wherever he's gonna go, I feel like when he's gonna follow.
Okay.
And it's pretty bad right now, but I'm gonna marry James Harden and follow his toxicity wherever he goes, man.
Mhm.
Be there with him at the strip clubs,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna go ahead and just fuck Steph, like as in, I'm gonna watch him put up some crazy ass numbers, and I'm gonna watch him kind of get double teamed and bullied and stripped the other half. So I'm gonna like him. And be with him, sometimes when he's doing very well. Like when he drops 60, I'll hit him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll hit him up. No homo. Hey, pause. The
Toxic
whole
masculinity.
segment.
Toxic masculinity.
But go ahead,
On
for you,
1,000. All right. So for me, and you're gonna disagree with this like crazy. So I'm actually gonna kill the whole Warrior situation, to be honest with you, because I feel like
you really feel strongly that they're gonna.
it's
struggle.
just okay. Wiggins, Dre, Steph, and Kelly, great players. They got that. They are really lacking in bench players and consistency. Like, okay, cool. Like you had said about Damian Lee. Damian Lee is a good shooter, but the fact you can't shoot threes and not play D, that's tough.
I understand that. They have. I feel like they have the best potential out of these three.
Yeah.
But James Harden, of course, I'm trying to marry him. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to kill that one off.
Kill it off.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go fucking around in Washington, high key. I'm fucking around a little bit of just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Only because like I think what I would probably do is, depending on however long Russ is out, I'm like,
They just lost Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, that's a
big hit.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
low key people don't really know about him, but
no,
that's a big that can shoot threes.
Yeah,
and he's a really good.
That's
like,
a defensive.
He's tall.
Anchor.
He's athletic.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's
D.
defensive for us, but he's
a good shot blocker, rim protector. But yeah, I think. But I'm fucking around in Washington only because I think what I probably do is I probably get rid of Scott Brooks at this point because
2 years I think
we can get newer.
Anyway.
We can get newer. Anyway, I'd probably get rid of Scott Brooks at this point, and then I'd probably want to do some more I want to run more plays for Denny. Just because he's really not getting. He's only getting like 7 touches a game at 11 points. That's.
I watched him recently. It's very like secondary. Like he's not really interested in it. He's not really a big role like we were mentioning beforehand. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And I'm not gonna waste my 9th pick on some. I'm not gonna waste my 9th pick on that. I'm sorry. And
so why are you marrying James Harden now?
Because, like I said in episode 27, 28, if James Harden wants to leave, cool, fine. I just want something in return. If James Harden wants to stay and patch shit up, cool. But you need to start playing.
Okay. I mean, again, with me and James Harden, like, if I marry him, I go wherever he's going. You know what I mean? Like,
but I'm sticking with you, Beard, because I got a beard
I think
too.
his situation will be fine. You know what I mean? He's gonna get what he wants in the end, I feel like. Which is fine with me, because I rather see greatness, like, actually achieve greatness. Because I like storylines.
True. All right, and the last segment we got here is called Edu.
Sports
Educated. Edu.
All right.
Cated.
Where you go? I mean, what's it going, Gifton?
This is a segment where we pretty much spread awareness or bring awareness to a player or a certain situation that's going on in the sports world right now. So today we're going to bring a little bit of awareness about a young man, a 6'2" shooting guard who recently was drafted 21st by the Philadelphia 76ers, straight out of Kentucky. This guy, Tyrese Maxey. And I know you've been raving about him a lot off air.
Well, for me, I like he jumps off the screen. He's very, very quick. He hustles pretty well. He's a good playmaker as well. I feel like he has a okay IQ for his role. Like, he's like one of the last options when the defense kind of breaks down there. So he's a threat to shoot. He's a threat to actually get into the hole. And I seen that beforehand. I didn't watch the game where he went off, and I know that you kind of wanted to talk about that one.
On 33 shots, 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, cause everybody didn't play because of COVID and everything
insane.
else like that. But I mean, the fact that I don't even think he's 21 yet, and he went off for 39 points, wild.
Well, that's the thing with this NBA nowadays. It's so young. Like, they have such a short leash for people and already want to call them busts. Where now, like in the beginning of the season, because everybody's just looking for storylines, everybody's talking about Colin Sexton and Darius Garland.
Sexland!
And they're literally like the youngest like duo. They're still probably under 22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure they are.
That is so young. The same thing with Jamal Murray. Like, he's super young, but he's like starting to become into his like prime ages. But everybody's just so young.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy that next like generation come up.
Yeah.
But Tyrese Maxey again, like for these 76ers who are surprisingly doing very well, where like everybody's like records are kind of going up and down, except for like really established teams such as the Lakers. The 76ers team, where I feel like they've been having like locker room problems, especially in the past, like they're doing pretty well. New head coach. Tyrese Maxey is just one person that's probably benefiting from not only the new coach, because it seems like Doc can always get the most out of his young players. And then you have 2 people who are actually bona fide stars.
Right.
So Tobias Harris has been putting out, which I feel like is a really big part.
Yeah, the last, I believe,
that guy Tyrese.
Yeah,
man.
the last 7 games, I think.
It's like Bo
Tobias Harris has been going off for like 20 points at least. But yeah, I like Tyrese Maxey. Does he have a jump anywhere in Rookie of the Year race? How you feel about that?
I think that if he's on a winning team like this, that he could definitely get some, praise there.
Okay.
But I also I feel like, there's a lot of other better candidates that have just better names. Of course, LaMelo Ball on a Hornets team that doesn't really have production come from anywhere else other than probably a Gordon Hayward.
He was going off the other day.
They definitely have good players. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to just say Gordon Hayward's the only good player. I'm just saying, like, they're going to give this guy the ball because there's not really a lot of other ball handlers other than Devontae Graham and, like...
I mean, they have Terry Rozier.
Yeah, Terry Rozier, there you go. But, like, it's not...
Yeah,
they don't need the ball in the hands to,
the
like,
Martin
be
twins,
successful.
they're okay.
No, I definitely think that he has like a better chance. My thing with James Wiseman, him, like, by the end of the year, I feel like he's gonna be like a guy that everybody's looking at.
Okay.
Kind of like how everybody was kind of looking at Mitchell Robinson after there was like an undermanned Knicks team, and then he was the one to kind of pop out. I feel like James Wiseman is going to have that type of exposure on the world. Okay. Like, okay, this is who I am. But Tyrese Maxey, most definitely, like, you know, really good potential. He pops off the screen if you watch him, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to become. How tall is he? You said 6'3"?
He is only 6'2".
6'2".
Giving it to him.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
It's from Kentucky. You already know he's gonna be hustling. But no, that's it. That's episode 31 here.
That's episode 31.
Yes,
I know y'all see the shirt.
Yeah.
I know y'all see this. You see my shirt.
You
see honest, that guy's hoodie.
I was gonna wear the hoodie, and I was like, yeah, like I'm wearing the hoodie. It looks good, especially on camera, especially on black.
Yes, it does.
And then this man pulls up with the shirt, and I was
goddamn
like,
right, I pulled up with the shirt. I told you.
We're gonna look so weird, but fuck it. Like,
we're not looking. It's sports. You would on bag. Sports you would open. No, I'm just kidding. But if you guys want a shirt, definitely reach out to us. Mainly reach out to this guy, cause
I'll probably put like some stuff. We're definitely taking one thing
mainly reach out to that guy. I'm taking a couple of orders. You know what I'm saying, if you want to, but solely get caught up with that guy.
Yes, sir.
And
shout out the like button if you enjoyed.
Go ahead
the
and
content.
Shout out that like button.
If you guys want some more, we always put up the clips so you guys don't have to listen to us the whole time. But it's definitely appreciated. Thank you for the support.
It'd be great. It would greatly appreciate if y'all did listen to the whole thing. But shout out that like button. Bust down them comments. You know what I'm saying.
And always
support the